Welcome to this edition of Utah Libraries Have You Covered at the Utah State Library. We're here at the Blind and Disabled Program Studios. I'm Jeri Openshaw, along with Jason on the board, and we are honored to have the program manager of the Blind and Disabled Program, Lisa Nelson. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Jeri.
It's like I just saw you a minute ago, but hi again.
Hi again.
Yeah. So we have quite a wonderful library here, and we've been told by the Library of Congress that we are the world's largest Braille and audiobook library. We had it confirmed, correct?
This is true.
Yeah, we're pretty proud of that. I tell everyone that. But we do have some great services. We have services that maybe you don't know about. So, Lisa, we have a variety of information available for people who are blind, disabled, or just visually impaired to read. Give us a little background. What do we have available?
Well, for people who have low vision or a hard time seeing regular print but are still able to read print, we have a large print collection. The books are available from major publishing houses. The font point is anywhere from 14 to 16 points, depending on the publisher. We mainly order bestsellers, both fiction and nonfiction, the popular titles. And all the titles that we order are the ones that are available from commercial publishers. We don't create them ourselves.
Absolutely. But we will talk a little bit later about things that we do record here for our local audiences. We'll go into that a bit later. But in the meantime, let's talk about who qualifies for this kind of service.
Well, anybody who's unable to read a regular printed material. It can be a permanent impairment or a temporary impairment. For example, if you fell off your roof cleaning off snow.
I like to say off my motorcycle, but then
and you broke both your arms and you couldn't hold a book, you would qualify until your arms healed and you were able to hold a book again. If you are somebody that has a print disability, that can be blindness, a visual disability, learning disabilities such as dyslexia. Those types of disabilities would qualify you for our service. Really, the best thing to do if you want to find out, we do list the certifiers on the application. When you take the application in to be signed, a lot of times people will take them to their doctor when they go into the eye appointment or just go to a doctor's visit. The doctor themselves can determine whether somebody qualifies or not. In addition to the materials we have here, I just want to mention that we have what's called an iBill currency reader.
Yes.
So do you want to talk about that now?
Yes, let's go ahead. It's a very valuable piece of equipment in my sister's home.
Yes. So the iBill currency reader is it's about the size of a small matchbox, and it has a slot in it where you can slip the corner of a bill and it will tell you what the currency is. You can have it set to vibration, where it will vibrate a certain number of times depending on the amount of the bill, or it will read out the total. Sometimes if people are standing in line or like at a store or something like that, they may not want it to announce how the amount the bill is, so they'll turn it to vibration instead. But that is also available from us at the library. We do have a form that somebody would need to fill out. You can come into the library or call us, and we will fill out that form, submit it for you, and send the little iBill reader device right out.
Yeah, they're really valuable. I think it's one of the things that people don't really think about. I mean, sure, you have to go to a store, you're blind, but yeah, I think it's so valuable. And we've become kind of a test market for a lot of things like that, as I recall.
We are. I like to participate in pilots because I like to know what the newest things are that are coming out from the National Library Service. The Utah Regional Library for the Blind is a satellite library of the National Library Service, so we fully participate in all of the programs that are offered. And we have, I would say, very successfly piloted the e-reader device, which is for people who read Braille. It's a 20-cell Braille display. It's a reader only. There's no audio to it, but it does have an internal memory. I want to say it's 16 gigs. It also has a slot for an SD card. You can download books straight to the e-reader. It's really awesome. It's really revolutionizing how people read Braille.
Let's explain to the folks how this program works. So, for example, if you're checking out, we are a public library, and if you are checking out a book in Braille or an audiobook or large print, how does that work?
So most of our service is conducted through the United States Postal Service. If you wanted to order a book, we have a website that you can log into and order books online through our blindlibrary.utah.gov site. If you wanted to call, we have people working for us, our librarians, the reader's advisors. You can call and talk to them. They can make book recommendations. They can read annotations for you. They can help you find books in a series. We can send those books out in audio or Braille format. We also have the Bard download site.
Yay, Bard. It's the best service ever.
Yeah, Bard is wonderful. It's sponsored by the National Library Service. And since we are a regional library of the National Library Service, it's available to our patrons. Bard, you would just simply need to fill out an online application to sign up for that service. We go in and verify that, and then from that point, there's a few other steps that you take, but then you are able to download materials. You can download materials to your phone using an app. There is a Bard app that you can download and then listen to the materials on your phone. You can download the app to a tablet, and it works both with the iOS and Android operating systems.
And it is wonderful. And interestingly enough, we have Overdrive here at our library, and sometimes there's a wait, sometimes 18 weeks just to check out a book. With Bard, it's pretty quick. You can usually check out a book within, no time at all.
Well, also the materials that we put onto a cartridge, which is our audio media, we can put multiple titles on a cartridge. So if you're somebody that loves to read a series or you have a specific author that you really enjoy, we can put multiple books by that author or in that series onto one cartridge, which is kind of an alternative for people who maybe don't have access to the internet or, aren't able to download books using the internet. So we have multiple ways for people to access reading materials.
It's awesome. Let's go back a minute because you mentioned readers' advisors, and let's talk about those guys. They're amazing, and they're real people.
They are very real people. They're a wonderful staff. Our readers' advisors are Faye, April, Derek, Michael, and Michelle, and they're super knowledgeable about books, about different genres to read. They can help you with tech support. They can really do a lot to tailor your service so that you're getting exactly what you want to read.
Absolutely. And they are very helpful. And if you have, say, for example, you like mystery, you just call and say, hey, Michael, give me all of these mysteries by a specific author. And guess what? In your mail comes a cassette.
Well, it's a cartridge.
It used to be a cassette.
It used to be a cassette. We had thousands of cassette books at one point. So it will come to you in the mail. When you receive it, it will be in a hard-sided plastic case, which is the mailing container. There are 2 straps on the back of the mailing container that you open. The cartridge is in there. It only fits into the player one way. When you have completed that book, you would just simply put it back in the container. With every audiobook we send you, we are going to be sending you a sort of a shipping manifest. It's a list of the books that are on that cartridge. You simply take that out of the container, and our mailing address is on a sticker on the container, and you just put it back out in the mail. So it's super simple and easy to return them to us.
And the big plus is that it's all free.
It's all free.
Yep.
It's everything goes back and forth from us to you and back again via the United States Postal Service, and it's all free matter for the blind.
How many pounds of audiobooks and Braille books do we process daily?
Well, when we had single title audiobooks, we would do about 1.5 to 2 tons a day. But now that we send out audiobooks that have multiple books on one cartridge, that's really reduced how many physical objects go out. But people are still getting the same amount of materials. They're just not having to wait. Before, when we had single title books, there would be a waiting list. Sometimes people would have to wait, 4, 6, 8 weeks until a copy came back in. This way, every order's fresh. Every order's tailored to what you specifically would like to read or the genres that you would like to read. So it's just a much more efficient and, I would say, less time-consuming media for us to process.
Absolutely. Okay, let's talk about the people who process that, who live and work in the warehouse.
We have a wonderful warehouse staff. We have Randy, Curtis, Adam, and Scott, who is the warehouse supervisor. They are the ones that process all the materials, all the incoming orders. They create those cartridges, check them out, put them in the mail. And when everything comes back, they do the reverse. They check them back in, do all that processing, and then get the next order ready to go out for all of the patrons.
And also, back in the warehouse, you'll find Joe, who manages Multistates. Let's chat about that, because that's pretty important. And we do service more than one state, more than Utah.
Oh, yes. Utah is kind of unique for National Library Service libraries. We actually serve 4 states. We, of course, Utah, we serve Wyoming, we serve Alaska, and we serve Montana. And then we have 19 Braille states that we also send materials to, including the e-reader device, which is the Braille reading device. So inside our library building, we have the Utah Regional Library, and then we have the Multistate Center West. And the Multistate Center West has unique collections. They have an archival collection of Braille, some very old books, some very just unique books that there's only that copy in the world. So it's a very precious collection.
Right.
But they also have other things too. They have marketing materials, they have forms and playback equipment, all the kind of things that a library would need to be able to serve people. And the difference between the two libraries is the Utah Library serves people directly, and the Multistate Center West serves libraries directly. So in the Multistate Center West, we have Joe and Mike, Tara, Tia, and Daniel.
Yep, and they're just awesome. You go back into that warehouse, and it's really huge and breathtaking. It really is pretty amazing. And boxes of, I'm assuming, players ready to be sent out to you if you need one.
Yes, we have the e-reader devices and the digital audio playback machines. We also have, like I mentioned, different supplies for libraries, but the cartridges that we create the book orders on are also available from the Multistate Center.
Right.
We have recently, I would say within the past 6 to 8 months, started a project to scan Braille books. We have a lot of really old Braille materials where the bindings are starting to fall apart and we're not able to circulate them. So we have a specialized Braille scanner that we actually purchased from Germany. And it will take a page of Braille and you can scan the actual Braille page, the characters on a Braille page, and then you can save that into an electronic Braille file that could then be downloaded and read by an e-reader device. So it's really remarkable. It's actually a really great way to preserve Braille. And that some of the titles maybe aren't popular reading material for our day and age, but still we have it. And that's what the important thing with Braille is. It's costly to create and it takes a lot of storage space when it's in a hard copy format. So being able to save that Braille file itself, it's just amazing technology because it can be read. Right. We're saving it for posterity.
Sure. But those old books, they're very they're just sweet. I mean, I just love them. It's all one-sided Braille, where now, we use two-sided Braille. But I think it's interesting, too, that we go way back. We have some of the first technology. We have record, like LPs back there.
We do. They don't really circulate. They're more of an archival collection. Right. There are actually no record players. There are record players out there, but there's no styluses. In other words, there's no replacement needles. Right. So we don't really circulate materials out of that. We have both the hard disc, vinyl disc, and then we have the floppy, sort of a floppy vinyl disc. We have the single title cartridges. We did finally get rid of all the cassette books, I would say maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
Except for in my head, I guess.
Well, the cartridge is about the same as the size of a cassette.
Cassette, yeah.
Yeah, so that's easy. But yeah, so we have some really unique things here in Utah. It's a really wonderful privilege to be able to provide all these services to people.
It is.
And I'll just mention really fast, Jeri, that we also have a Braille transcriber that works on site that produces Braille materials for us. Most recently, she produced the voter information pamphlet.
Exactly.
And then she's also done a Braille calendar. So if anybody needs a calendar, Marie has done calendars this year.
And they have cute little flowers on them. She's brailled flowers on them. It's really sweet.
She has a tactile graphics software that she uses to Braille. She can do a lot of different things. So she does an amazing job with that. And last, but of course not least, is our recording studio where we are right now.
Yay. I want to go back just a little bit because we were talking about, the LPs were the first things out, and then we had reel-to-reel and then cassette, and we just keep moving on and moving on. But I think it's interesting to note that this whole thing started in Congress by a senator from here in Utah, Reed Smoot, and Ruth Pratt, called the Pratt-Smoot Act in 1931, and they testified before Congress with Helen Keller.
That's right.
And got this whole process going. So I think applause to Utah and Helen Keller and Reed Smoot from Utah. Anyway, I think that's always a nice piece of information I love to share.
Yeah, it was revolutionary for the time to create these special materials for people on a national basis so that people would have access to something besides just the basics.
Exactly. Or nothing at all.
Exactly.
Okay, so we are in the recording studio. Now, this recording studio is high-end. It truly is. And we have, 20 some, do we have 20 or so volunteers? 25 to 30.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yay! And we encourage you to be one of them. It's quite a process, but we love having you come in on your own time. But you have to come in because it's proprietary software. And Lisa, explain a little bit about what happens if you become a volunteer.
Well, we have our software that we use is called Hindenburg ABC, which stands for Audiobook Creator. That was developed in partnership with the company Hindenburg, which is based in Denmark, and the National Library Service to record materials in a proprietary format to be used by National Library Service playback equipment, basically, either the downloadable from the Bard site or on the cartridge format. So we have people come in, you can read something long like a book, or you could read a magazine. People come in whatever time you can donate. We do ask that somebody commit to completing a book if they start one, because if we can't mix voices, so if I was to sit down and read, 300 pages of a 500-page book and then not come back, then we'd have to have another reader start that over.
Right.
So that's really all that we ask, is somebody have the willingness and the commitment to come in and start a book and finish it. For magazines, it's a quicker read. It's a lot less, work to add the different markers and things like that to the audio file. but we appreciate whatever anybody's willing to do.
Absolutely. If you want to go to our website, blindlibrary.utah.gov, and you can find information about how to sign up to volunteer. You can also find applications, correct?
Yes.
And we serve folks from 0 to 100.
And over.
And over. Wow.
So we have reading materials for all age groups, for all tastes. We have leisure reading materials. We have informative reading materials. We have sports schedules in Braille. That includes the NHL, NFL, basketball, NBA, baseball. So we do have things like that available. We have magazines in Braille as well as audio. I think I already mentioned the audio magazines. So there's just a lot of variety. We just really want people to read and enjoy reading and experience those new worlds.
Right. And even with little children, we have children's books that have what's called thermoform over the pages.
Yeah, we have what's called print Braille book. Another word for them is twin vision, where you would have a regular print picture book like you would buy anywhere. And then the thermoform, which is a petroleum-based plastic, is brailled. And then that is a sticker stock that lays over the top of the printed page. That way, if you are a blind parent and you have a sighted child, they're able to see the page as you read the Braille characters.
It's really cool. So if you're blind, you can still read to your child. If your child's blind, you can still read to your child. It's a great little. I love those books. They're just so sweet. I think Lisa and I mean, it's our soul, it's our heart.
Definitely.
This program is our heart. We will not be. We're no two ways about it. We love this program, and you will too. It's great. Give us a call or look us up online, blindlibrary.utah.gov. Look up all the resources we have. Check out books. What else? I mean, it's a great program. What did we miss anything?
I think we covered pretty much everything.
Yeah. We just need you to come in.
Come on in, sign up, enjoy some books.
Yep. And those books that come to you in the mail, be they Braille or audiobooks, I swear, I know people who live and breathe by those books.
Yes, they do.
Yep. It's their life. We get great testimonials every single year.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Lisa, thanks so much.
Thank you, Jeri.
Jason, thank you.
Thank you, Jason.
Yep. And we will see you again next podcast.